Welcome to Goat vs. Fish Televerses Volume 2. It's another Goat vs. Fish watch party with Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish is going to tell everyone, hey, you should come watch Goat vs. Fish now. You should come watch the Goat vs. Fish Televerses watch party now with Goat vs. Fish. You should join Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish, of course, as always, reminds you it is against Twitch terms of service to tell you to watch Goat vs. Fish on a platform other than Twitch when dual streaming. That is part of the Twitch terms of service. On a completely unrelated versus, Goat vs. Fish is trying to accrue 3,000 watch hours on YouTube. So if you find yourself wanting to watch some extra hours of Goat vs. Fish, consider watching Goat vs. Fish on YouTube. That could be a fun versus. We're about to get started with the Goat vs. Fish Televerses Watch Party Volume 2. We're just going to share a versus. We're going to share a versus in the Discord of Goat vs. Fish. This versus, Goat vs. Fish did a vertical living stream on YouTube. And Goat vs. Fish streamed for perhaps 6 hours. We walked about. We set up the shrine of Goat vs. Fish. We went in the temple of Goat vs. Fish. We did a Goat vs. Fish cooking show of sorts. And we sort of had an open congregation, chat room, celebration type place. And it was a beautiful versus. And we accrued over 50, that's 50 watch hours of Goat vs. Fish. Oh yes! We're going to get YouTube monetization before you can say Goat vs. Fish. But you should try saying Goat vs. Fish before we get the monetization. It would probably help Goat vs. Fish get the monetization if you said Goat vs. Fish. But we thought that Yester versus the Goat vs. Fish watch party was a triumph. The celebration to Shira the Ambivert. Welcome back to Goat vs. Fish. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Goat vs. Fish is feeling very pleasant this versus. Very pleasant this versus. It has already been a triumph, but there's still more verses to be done. Goat vs. Fish has been versing exceptionally hard, but we have also found ways to enjoy some relaxation. It's Shira, not Shira. Shriya. Shriya. And you ... at Goat vs. Fish. You ... at Goat vs. Fish. Where do you get the verses to ... at Goat vs. Fish? We will call you what you wish. We will call you what you wish. But Goat vs. Fish sees millions of usernames every verses. You have to have patience with Goat vs. Fish. And you ... at Goat vs. Fish. How could you? Welcome back, Dragon Balls 325. Big Rig 250, welcome to Goat vs. Fish. This is a versus of Goat vs. Fish, and we are here to ask you, are you goat or are you fish? Always. You're going to hear that versus quite a lot. Are you goat or are you fish? You're going to hear that versus a lot. Yes, you shall. We are going to now begin Goat vs. Fish TV Volume 2. We're going to watch some televerses. Goat vs. Fish is here to respond to you, is here to make communication with you. We'll respond to tips and bits and gifted subscriptions and radiations and verses like that. And maybe we'll respond to you if Goat vs. Fish has something of particular interest to say. Goat vs. Fish ends up talking a lot anyway. But otherwise, we're just going to watch some televerses together and enjoy the congregation, and Goat vs. Fish may also type within the congregation of Goat vs. Fish. Welcome back, Dragon Balls 325 once again. Goat vs. Fish reminds everyone here, including Shreya the ambivert, that it is against Twitch terms of service to inform you if Goat vs. Fish is streaming on 2 platforms simultaneously, and to direct you to the other platform when we're streaming on Twitch. So if Goat vs. Fish were streaming on YouTube and Twitch in the same verses, we could not tell you to go watch Goat vs. Fish on YouTube, and we could not direct you to YouTube from Twitch. That would be against TOS. In the quest for universal basic verses, Goat vs. Fish is attempting to reach 3,000 watch hours on YouTube. So if you find yourself wanting to watch some Goat vs. Fish, you can consider YouTube. You can consider YouTube of Goat vs. Fish. Mr. Goat vs. Fish, what are your pronouns? My pronouns are you goat or fish. Are you goat or fish? My pronouns are you goat or fish. You can just call us Goat vs. Fish. The only pronouns of Goat vs. Fish are Goat vs. Fish. So anytime that you want to say Goat vs. Fish, you refer to Goat vs. Fish as Goat vs. Fish. Just like if we wanted to refer to you, we could always refer to you as Shreya at any verses. Hello, Shreya. I spoke to Shreya, and Shreya said, Mr. Goat vs. Fish, what are your pronouns? And rather presumptuous of you to say, what are your pronouns, sir? That was a bit presumptuous on Goat vs. Fish. But that's okay. That's okay. Aww. Thank you for asking, Goat vs. Fish. Thank you for caring, Goat vs. Fish. Whoopsie. We now begin watching Goat vs. Fish televerses. In this verses, Goat vs. Fish is going to talk about an anglerfish. So we're starting the verses with a fish verses. It's Goat vs. Fish. Are you sad and depressed about everything in your entire existence? Did this fish make you cry? Coming on a bit strong there, Goat vs. Fish. Why? Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fish. Goat vs. Fish televerses programification. We need to center the verses. YouTube televerses. Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. Enhance. Enhance. Okay, now we have verses. Are you sad and depressed about everything in your entire existence? Did this fish make you cry? Why? Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fence. Can this fish make you cry? A question versed to us by the New York Times. An eerie-looking creature from the ocean's depths has become an unwitting inspiration for intense emotions. Oh yes, we do not hide from our emotions on Goat vs. Fish. You can look into the eye of a goat, you can look into the eyes of a fish, and see the emotion raging between them as they verses. A specimen of the black sea devil, anglerfish, was recently found off the coast of
Tenerife.
The discovery has inspired a lot of emotional reactions. It is easy to believe that the black sea devil, anglerfish, with its gaping maw of razor-like teeth, a bioluminescent rod sticking out of its head, eyelidless eyes used to scan the deepest, darkest depths of the ocean, might make someone cry with fright. Some fish can look to a goat who has only ever been on the land as a fearful disfigured, alien creature. What if Goat vs. Fish had no eyelids? Would this frighten you, Goat and Fish? Does this frighten you? It is perhaps less believable that such a creature, the kind so freakish it inspired a particularly scary scene in the children's movie Finding Nemo. We found Finding Nemo, we saw the verses, and we celebration that it was about fish. But when the whole verses hinges on the forgetfulness of a fish, hey, what happened to the major plot point? I don't know, I forgot. Why don't you just remember Goat versus Fish? Now, we know that Goat and Fish can be forgetful. It is part of Goat versus Fish. But if you're going to make a movie about a fish, maybe forgetting the critical Appreciation Phantom Tactics for following Goat versus Fish. Are you goat or fish? Verses is not so much of a great motivation for moving the verses forward. On social media, a sea devil has done just that, becoming a folk hero in recent weeks. After swimming great lengths from its typical home, some 200 to 2,000 meters deep in the ocean, to the surface, some of the fish's fans have turned the watery odyssey, which ended in death, into a poignant version of their hero's journey. Celebration for the heroic fish! We find fish and goat heroic when they accomplish some great verses and then die pitiably. But are you truly celebrating the life of the fish, or are you merely celebrating the death of the fish? Like, oh, we never have to know why that fish ever versed as far as it did. We just need to know that it died getting there. It must have been really committed to being a fish. What if Goat vs. Fish died as Goat vs. Fish? Would you see a hero in Goat vs. Fish? For spreading the verses of Goat vs. Fish until the very death of Goat vs. Fish? At which verses then and only then would you claim Goat vs. Fish a hero? Perhaps we should understand the heroic verses of Goat and Fish now in the living verses of Goat vs. Fish, and not simply keenly celebration a hero after they have passed and moved on into the afterverse. Oh, it is easy and pleasing to celebration the deeds of one who cannot even speak up for themselves. Why, fish? Why, fish? Why, fish? Why did you swim so far? Well, what if the fish told you it swam so far to versus the goat? It is Goat versus Fish. Perhaps some goat would not be so pleased about the incursion of this fish into their territory. But because the fish has died, the goat need not worry that this fish will complete its invasion of the land. So they can celebrate a heroic fish. And we can all say unto ourselves, celebration to me and celebration to thee. We celebration the dead fish, we celebration the dead fish. And death is part of Goat versus Fish. And Goat versus Fish mourns the loss of a goat and mourns the loss of a fish. Goat versus Fish merely implores you to celebration the life of the goat and the fish as they verses. Find a goat or a fish that you love, that you know, and call them the hero. Call them the hero. You are the hero. You are the hero who watches Goat vs. Fish. You are the hero who likes and comments and subscribes to Goat vs. Fish. You are the hero who tells someone that you know about Goat vs. Fish. What could be more of a heroic verses than sharing the one true verses of Goat vs. Fish? And along those verses, we choose to believe, if we may choose to believe whatever we wish about this angler fish who has traveled so far. Goat vs. Fish believes that this fish traveled so far to tell you about Goat vs. Fish. The angler fish traveled so far just so it could become news of Goat vs. Fish, so that Goat vs. Fish could use this fish to tell you about Goat vs. Fish. And in that verses, it is a heroic fish. Celebration for the heroic fish who died to give Goat vs. Fish something to talk about on Goat vs. Fish. What a celebration. The angler fish that swam to the land gave its life for Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish does not ask anyone to give their life to Goat vs. Fish. We only want you to live for Goat vs. Fish, not to die for Goat vs. Fish. But it is a touching verses. It's a touching verses and celebration for fish. Quotation. My first reaction was, oh my God, this fish is terrifying. Don't get us started on whether or not God is goat or fish, said Hannah Bachman, 29, who lives in Minneapolis, which is like Macroopolis but smaller, and posted about the fish on Fish Talk. But, they said, they eventually succumbed to the poetry of a lone fish approaching the light. This poor fish is just spending her literal last seconds trying to do something beautiful. They do not see the beauty of the life of the fish without first pondering its terminal, final seconds? Would it be any less beautiful if the fish did not die, if it had only tried? It was a rare event and a dream come true, said one photographer with the group who was able to capture the fish on camera. The team observed the fish, which was already injured when it was spotted for several hours. The sea devil ultimately died. Yeah, this is what I'm friggin' talking about. This fish knows how to friggin' suffer. It's no wonder that this friggin' Christian nation of ours has become so friggin' fascinated with this fish, you know? They didn't really care much about the fish until they realized that, it was a hurt and sick and dying fish, and then they went, oh, yeah, we like it. We like it when you friggin' suffer. Don't you like watching me friggin' suffer? You like it when I friggin' suffer, don't you? Yeah, that's what I'm all friggin' about. You know, it gives my life a friggin' purpose and a meaning to suffer for you. It does suck, but, that's what it's all friggin' about. So, just impose the suffering, the beautiful friggin' suffering of fish. Yeah. You know, I don't much go for this goat versus fish guy. I think he's trying to friggin' steal my bit. But, the more friggin' suffering that we friggin' celebrate, the more I can friggin' relate. So I give it up to this friggin' long friggin' suffering fish. Why don't you friggin' suffer some more? Hey, friggin' goats, why don't you friggin' suffer? You know, I might see fit to celebrate your existence if you just friggin' suffer some more. You know, it's like our friggin' currency out here. You know, the more you suffer, the more it shows you really care. Right? Yeah. Still, at least online, its memory lives on. Until we start thinking about something else. Its fans have posted tributes set to ballads, written poems, created fan art, and even gotten tattoos. Several people, be they goat or fish, have posted videos of themselves bawling over the fish. Others have called for Pixar to adapt its story into a film. They can't get enough of this fish. Celebration for fish, celebration for fish. They're obsessing over fish. Goat must be envious. Goat, what do you have to say about this verses? No, we agree. We agree. Translation for those of you who do not speak goat. The goat said, what do I have to do? Die to get your attention and sympathy? You might have to. Why did the sea devil decamp for the surface? We do not know for certain, although scientists have speculated that it might have to do with illness or an unusual current. Sick, weak, dying fish. Weepy fans of the fish on TikTok, however, have woven a beautiful and probably fanciful narrative for the fish. A story of a creature in its final days. Well, now they're just repeating goat versus fish. They're just saying the verses. They're just saying the same verses. It was a sad fish. It was a sick fish. There was sympathization for the sad, sick fish. There was sympathization for the sad, sick, dying fish. It was sad because it was dying. It got attention because it was sick. They found sympathization because it was an ill fish. It died. They cried. Get on with the verses. And there's the fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Look at the fish. The motivations of the anglerfish that made its way to the surface can't be known.
Ooh. Ah.
But that has not stopped the goat and fish from speculating. And this is very goat versus fish. The mysteries of fish, their verses unknown, allows for projection upon the fish, whatever it is that you wish, what it is that you are trying to accomplish in life. And perhaps you will die amid the strife. Perhaps your goals will never be reached. Perhaps your verses will never be preached. And they look at the dead fish, and they look at its journey. And the absence of knowledge about the fish intrigues the goat and fish who would view it, allows themselves to insert themselves into the fish and say, I feel like this fish. I am this fish. I am this fish. And we celebration the declaration of fish, for the one true question is, are you goat or are you fish? Because of this angler fish, there are many out there in the universe who have chosen fish. The angler has become a martyr for fish. In the verses of goat versus fish, the fish have achieved a new martyr, and it looks like this. The anglerfish is here as a guest on Goat vs. Fish. Hey, anglerfish, you've really been in the news in recent verses. Tell us about your journey. Oh wait, it's dead. It can't say. Well, thank you for joining Goat vs. Fish. Appreciation. The projection of your dreams onto this late fish is a lot like Goat vs. Fish. Some say there is an absence in meaning of Goat vs. Fish. What does it mean? I cannot perceive. Tell me, Goat vs. Fish. What is Goat vs. Fish all about? But Goat vs. Fish is not here to tell you the meaning of Goat vs. Fish. That must be discovered for yourself. Perhaps our dear anglerfish was versing to the land of the goat in order to discover the true meaning of Goat vs. Fish. Maybe they found it, but now those mysteries are lost. But fish are versus goat, and goat are versus fish. You who hunger to see the meaning behind the journey of this angler, look no further than Goat vs. Fish. The anglerfish was living to versus the goat. That is your answer. The verses is solved. The fish was going to versus goat. Oh, my verses. Resuscitation. 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 My journey was meaningless. Life is meaningless. There was nothing to my swimming to a late grave. There is no joy or sadness or anger to be found in it. I am merely part of the infinite expanse of the universe, and what I do or don't do, or did and didn't do, amount to an inconsequence beyond any of our fathoming. I died as I lived, completely devoid of meaning. Appreciation for that clarification. Now we know. Madison Sharp, 25, a behavioral therapist in Dallas, noticed an outpouring of emotion for the fish in her social media feeds in this week. Instead of just seeing a fish reaching the surface, they see hope and meaning and symbolism. She said of the other social media users who had selected the fish as a receptacle for their big feelings. On Monday night, she was inspired to create her own freehand illustration of the sea devil approaching the surface. She added tears to its eyes and the word "finally" floating above the waterline. I think the most important part was the expression of the fish, she said. I added the little eyebrows on top to show the longing of it. Can we get that illustration? Here's the verses.
Who made it to the surface, because I love her just as you all do. Here's my dear.
Oh, hey, it's the Uncle Joe Show. So much inspiration by fish. But where's the inspiration for Goat vs. Fish? Where's the fan art of Goat vs. Fish? Where's the fan art of Goat? Where's your inspiration from Goat vs. Fish? Well, you just got it from Goat vs. Fish. You see how everything is Goat vs. Fish. Demonstration again. It's about a fish. It's about association with fish. Some would say, I could never be a fish. I could never be a fish. And yet, so many now feel like they are this fish. The desperation of the fish, the hope of the fish, the dream of the fish. So many feel like the fish. Celebration for the life of fish, celebration for the death of fish, celebration for the circle of verses. Goat, just don't go dying out there in order to get attention. Maybe just try versing the fish. Shreya, we ask you about your birthday because on your birthday, Goat vs. Fish takes pity on the pitiable fence-sitter who chooses neither goat nor fish. On your verse day, you can be both goat and fish in the same verses, but otherwise you're a fence-sitter. But Goat vs. Fish, of course, asked you, are you goat or fish, because we would never presume that you are a fence-sitter. But Goat vs. Fish did suspect that you were on the fence because your name is already Shreya the Ambivert. And if you are calling yourself an ambivert, it means that you are not comfortable calling yourself an introvert or an extrovert. Which is already a sort of verses where you're like, well, I can't be both. I'm not goat, I'm not quite fish. I'm somewhere in the middle between goat and fish. So it makes verses that Shreya the Ambivert would call themselves, say, I'm not goat or fish, I'm gish, I'm foat, I'm an ambivert. I'm in between goat and fish. A fence-sitter indeed. Goat and Fish appreciation for watching the living streams of Goat vs. Fish. We remind you now. Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish reminds you now that Goat vs. Fish cannot inform you if Goat vs. Fish is live streaming both on YouTube and Twitch at the same verses. Even if Goat vs. Fish were live streaming both on YouTube and Twitch at the same verses, Goat vs. Fish couldn't tell you that. Well, maybe we could tell you that, but we couldn't tell you to go and watch Goat vs. Fish on YouTube. So we won't. And we can't, and we couldn't anyway, and we aren't. Goat vs. Fish is attempting to reach 3,000 watch hours on YouTube for monetization. We're almost there. Thank you for watching Goat vs. Fish. And now on to the next verses. And shout out to the Uncle Bo for telling us about you. Appreciation, Shreya. You're welcome to the congregation.
When has anyone ever taken the verses to sell to you?
Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fence.
No one cares about you in the universe, it would seem. Oh, my verses. You are staring at your screen, and they're saying, buy this goat, buy this fish, sell this goat, sell this fish. Horny goats in your area. Buy this fish cream supplementation. Buy this cheap puzzle that you don't know if it's goat or fish. Procure this gum. It's like no other one. This gum is like no other one. It's the mightiest gum in the universe. Procure it. Buy
Goat versus fish. Try that gum. It wasn't that great.
this cheap sofa. Buy it. It's Joybird. But there's nothing joyous about that bird, Goat and Bitch. It's just a cheap knockoff fence. And no one is giving you the time of verses to truly sell you Goat versus Fish. And you deserve, Goat and Fish, you deserve verses. You deserve verses to be pandered to, Goat and Fish. You deserve verses to be told that you are the most special goat or fish in the universe, and Goat versus Fish is going to treat you extra nice when you become a patron of Goat versus Fish, and all of your verses will come true, and it can happen to you, it can happen to you, it can happen to you. Goat versus Fish, Goat versus Fish, we are here for you. Goat versus Fish is here for you. Goat versus Fish is here to give you the hard sell, Goat and Fish.
We think this was one of the earliest verses in the new studio of Goat versus Fish, and you can tell because we're just adjusting everything constantly.
We're here, we're begging Goat and Fish. Goat versus Fish. For the love of Goat versus Fish, Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish, please begs Goat versus Fish. Please begs Goat versus Fish, become a $5 a month patron of Goat versus Fish. Oh, my verses. Oh, my verses, Goat and Fish. We plead, we need Goat versus Fish. Oh, my verses. For the love of Goat versus Fish. Join the Patreon of Goat versus Fish for $5 American dollars a month and continue the perpetuation of Goat versus Fish. Goat and Fish, we need you, we need you. We plead with you, Goat and Fish. Celebration. Celebration for Goat versus Fish. Goat and Fish, isn't it nice to be needed, Goat and Fish? Isn't it nice to feel needed? Isn't it nice to feel needed in a way that only requires a monetary transaction and doesn't actually require any use of your time? Doesn't it great to feel needed by someone who just gives and gives and gives to you? Doesn't it feel nice to be needed, Goat and Fish? To be needed by someone. To be needed by a goat, to be needed by a fish. In a way that only Goat versus Fish can need you. You! We need you to invest in Goat versus Fish. And if you don't invest in Goat versus Fish, then Goat versus Fish will continue without you and the verses will just pass you by. The verses will pass you by and you will scream, why? You will say, what is missing in my very existence? Oh, I remember I did not make a $5 American dollar contribution to Goat versus Fish every month. Oh, my verses. It's a kingdom of fences. It's a kingdom of fences. You will feel an emptiness moving about the verses. Commodification surrounding you. You'll be at Fence Donald's. Oh, give me a quarter fencer with cheese, please. And I need it extra large. I need more sweets. I need more sugar. I need more endorphins. I need to keep scrolling faster, scroll faster. Why am I not satisfied? Join Goat versus Fish for your satisfaction, and by the power of attraction, you too will be a mighty goat. You too will be a mighty fish. Join Goat versus Fish. Your contribution is the solution. Your contribution is the solution, Goat and Fish. Your contribution is the solution to your ennui and the question in your head that says, what could it be? What could it be? Join Goat versus Fish, the mighty versus the verses depends on you. Celebration for you, Goat and Fish. Celebration for you, Goat and Fish. Celebration for you, Goat and Fish. Celebration for you. In particular, Celebration, get off the fence, join Goat vs. Fish, join Goat vs. Fish. Celebration.
Jedi grind with 49 months for Goat vs. Fish. Jedi grind with 49 months of Goat vs. Fish. Appreciation Jedi grind for 49 months of continued support of Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish, as you know, has been doing the morning motivational streams, and we miss you, Jedi Grind. We miss you on the morning motivational streams of Goat vs. Fish, but we know that perhaps you're just not about to be able to witness the morning motivational streams, though you can always watch them on YouTube after the verses. So we appreciate you being here. We thought, well, Goat vs. Fish, I'm a mod, I'm just saying hello. Ah, yes, well, we know that when Goat vs. Fish, once upon a versus, Goat vs. Fish decided not to make you a mod of Goat vs. Fish because we wanted you to have the freedom to watch Goat vs. Fish without the responsibility of watching Goat vs. Fish. But then everyone else just made you a mod, and now you feel responsibility to everyone else. But that's okay, because we appreciate your continued support of Goat vs. Fish, and you are a valued member of the congregation of Goat vs. Fish. Celebration for Jedi Grind! Celebration for Jedi Grind! Appreciation. And Goat vs. Fish, we are pondering to get back to doing evening and afternoon streams where Jedi Grind could join Goat vs. Fish. So we hope to see you there. So we hope to see you there when we do. But until then, appreciation. Let's go look at a classic Jedi Grind versus. Whether you have to mod or not, we think that because you're here and we're watching Goat vs. Fish Televerses, we should watch a classic Jedi Grind versus of the Uncle Joe Show. Ooh, let's do this. Let's do one that you didn't expect. Let's do this one with the Jedi Grind logo.
Come on, you never seen a verses like this. Come on. Yo, Skylord and you, I fuck heavy with you, dude. You already know this, dude. I love you, dude. You a quirky dude, and I love that about you, dude. I'd rather die for you, dude. I love you just like asking people about hair tips and all kinds of shit and shit. Dude, Jedi motherfucking grind! Jedi motherfucking grind!
That was the Uncle Joe Show! Featuring Jedi Grind. And here's Jedi Grind with the subscription. 49 months of Goat vs. Fish. Appreciation, Jedi Grind. Appreciation for your participation in the congregation of Goat vs. Fish. And celebration for Goat. The verses continue. The verses now continue on the Goat vs. Fish Televerses.
Celebration. Classic verses. How was that for a versus of Goat vs. Fish? You deserve versus it. A fence burns every time you make a contribution. Immolation. Horniness is not just for goats anymore. Scientists find strange fish that can have sex up to 27 times per day.
Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fence.
In a weird, wacky finding, scientists have discovered the limit to how many times a strange fish can have sex in a single day. We've heard of getting some strange. Sounds like the fish are all about it. And it sounds like scientists are really interested in fish sex. These fish, named Medaka or Oryzias latipes, were found to be able to mate 19 times per day on average, with some males managing up to 27 matings, according to a paper in the online journal Royal Society Open Science. We are very familiar with the Royal Society Open Science. Some say goat versus fish is royalty, and we are pleased that the royalty has been turning themselves onto the finer interests of fish. Goat and fish sex is a natural, zesty part of the verses of Goat versus Fish. 27 times per verses, though. That's a lot even for Goat versus Fish. But we like to believe that every verses that we say Goat versus Fish, every verses that we ask you, are you goat or are you fish, that Goat versus Fish is impregnating you with the thoughts about Goat versus Fish that you can then birth out to all of your friends and loved ones, and also people that you don't know at all, by yelling, Goat versus Fish! Are you goat or are you fish? On every random street corner and megaphone that you can find. Mating more would be expected to increase a male's reproductive success. What do you know? Asking, are you goat or fish, more often will result in more choosing goat or fish and following Goat versus Fish on social media at Goat versus Fish. But producing and releasing more sperm takes a lot of energy. The new study reveals that Medaka males release less and less sperm with each successive mating until hitting a daily limit. Those fish, they're trying out there. They're trying to make more fish. But even the horniest fish cannot F forever. Even the horniest fish is going to run out of swimmers sooner or later, but we so appreciation and respect this tiny fish. They verses. You can make it to 28 times, 29, 30 times in a verses, 30 times in a verses. Go for it, fish. Can't you just find one more sperm somewhere? Somewhere in there, somewhere in your sperm sac, there must be just one more sperm. Just to make more fish. Just more fish. We need more fish in the verses of Goat versus Fish. Look at those blue-eyed fish. You're my blue-eyed fish. You're my blue-eyed fish. Are you goat or are you fish? Medaka are among the fish that spawn, where fertilization occurs after the eggs and sperm are released in water. That's where you can find fish. But Jedi Grind with the gifted verses to Syrup Tick. Appreciation, Jedi Grind, for the gifted verses. It is perhaps unfathomable, but that is Jedi Grind's 1,276th gifted sub in this channel. Only 8,724 more until you reach 10,000, Jedi Grind. You'll get there. Appreciation, as always, for the support of the congregation of Goat versus Fish. But goat also drink it. As these gametes are difficult to collect, the number of sperm released and the fertilization rate during successive matings had remained a mystery. So much that we do not know about these sexual fish, said study co-author Yuki Kondo. It is a verses of Yagi Vasezu Sakana. Just leave it to Yagi Vasezu Sakana to be interested in the mating habits of fish. They're really into fish over across the pond. Not across the fish and chips pond, but across the other pond, over to the land of the rising verses. And Yagi Vasezu Sakana. Anata wa Yagi ka sakana desu ka? Kondo Yuki-sama, Yagi ka sakana. Perhaps Yuki Kondo is a goat who is doing research on the fish, trying to learn more about the mating habits of the fish so that they can know what to expectation. At what rate are the fish breeding? The goat are doing their research. They need to know. The researchers found that the Medaka males mated an average of 19 times per day, with some only achieving 4 and others up to 27. They release their sperm into the waters where they can fertilize the eggs of the female, also released into the water, but only once per day. So the male fish want to conduct fertilization up to 27 times per day, and the female fish wants to perform fertilization only once per day. It sounds like there's a lot of competition among the fish. They all want that one versus. They all want that one precious versus, and they'll skeet 27 times to do it. Now, Goat versus Fish does not know about this versus of male versus female. We wonder if the male is the goat or the female is the fish or vice versa. But according to this versus, both the males and the females are fish. So versus solved for this versus. Males and females, both fish. If you wish to contest that versus, please leave a commentation and tell Goat versus Fish if you think males are goat or fish and if you think females are goat or fish. After the first few matings, the amount of sperm release drops significantly, declining to 50% of the original content after the first 3 verses, and then only to 0.5 to 6.3% by the final verses of the day. As a result, the rate of egg fertilization also dropped after the first 10 verses. But just because your success drops after the first 10 verses doesn't mean you don't keep going to 27. Additionally, the efforts males put into courtship and the duration of the mating also declined with the number of times they had already mated that day. Therefore, if the females mate with a male that has mated several times previously that day, she, quotation, wastes her single opportunity to release eggs because the fertilization rate will be much lower. Fish, you've got to get your organization together. We can all appreciate a horny effing fish. We can all aspire to be mating as much as these fish, but some of the fish are wasting their eggs, and we hear that egg prices have been going up in recent verses. What happened to the price of eggs? What happened to the price of eggs, Ronald Trump? What happened to the price of eggs? These fish have 1 egg, and they're wasting their eggs. They're wasting their eggs on the 17th time that a fish has ejaculation sperm into the ocean. Despite the reduced sperm availability, females did not adjust their clutch size as a counter strategy. Well, they're probably thinking about versing the goat. Surely you goat and fish have been in the throes of conception, and you are enjoying the verses, and you can't help but wonder as you look into the eyes of the goat with whom you are copulation, and they're probably just thinking about versing a fish during the copulation. No matter how hard you are versing, you know that sometimes behind those eyes, they're just pondering, oh, I have so many verses to do. There's a goat on one verses. I got a goat on two's verses. On third verses, I have to form of unification, and I've scheduled some fish time with the fishies. Stop dreaming of future verses and get with the verses of now. But let it never be said that in the verses of horniness that goat take the verses. These fish are so horny that they're just wasting their verses. It's a bacchanal, goat and fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Maybe these fish just want to enjoy their verses. Have you ever pondered this? Maybe it's not all about reproduction for these fish. Maybe some of these fish say, we've had a long verses of versing the goat, and now we just want to ejaculation 27 times. And maybe the female fish don't want to be so concerned about being so precious with their single clutch. Maybe they just want to go out there and find a nice tired fish that has already fornication 26 times and say, listen, fish, I've got your verses. I will be here for you on your 27th verses. That must be some kind of a record. We've heard of ones that set records. Oh, I'm going to have sex with 1,000 ones or 2,000 ones or 10,000 ones in a 24 verses period. These fish, they're already at it. Despite the reduced sperm availability, females did not adjust their clutch size as a counter strategy. These findings imply that sperm is a limited resource for both sexes, potentially leading to sexual conflict. Oh no. Sexual conflict occurs when the reproductive interests of males and females within a species diverge. This is because strategies that maximize reproductive success for one fish may reduce the fitness of reproductive success in the other fish, leading to evolutionary arms races between the sexes. Well, there's your verses.
Shreya the Ambivert asks, do fish ever get thirsty? We think that this entire YouTube verses about fish having sex 27 times per day pretty much is all about the fish being thirsty. These are apparently some very thirsty fish.
Fish don't have arms. How do either of you fish expect to win a reproduction arms race when fish don't have arms? They have fins. Fish, there's no winning this versus. Our research provides important insights into the relationship between the cost of a gamete production and sexual selection. I very much enjoy reducing sexual relations down to an economic calculation. Yes, all of your time spent mating, all of your time spent swiping, all of your time spent dating, down to each and every thrust and pull should be entered into a spreadsheet so we can find the most efficient way for you to conduct all of your sexual engagements. I think that would be the most fun way to do it, because what could be more fun than efficiency? Fish in the sea. Get it? That was a terrible verses. Are you really going to make us publish that verses? Fish. Appreciation for your sexual satisfaction, but you need to get with your organization. Celebration for sexy fish, and we wish you all kinds of reproduction, because those goat, you know they're out there effing too. Celebration for goat versus fish. Russia sends 100 elite goat to North Korea.
Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fence.
Russia has sent a batch of pedigreed dairy goats to North Korea in the latest gesture of goodwill between Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un, sending the goats to versus the fish. Goats being used for diplomacy. Goats being used for trade. Goats on the international scene. But what could it mean? But what could it mean? The political verses of Russia and North Korea can be notoriously opaque, as if surrounded by an iron fence. But now we know that goats are part of the verses. Some kind of trade? Maybe. Russia received 100 breeding fish in return? If you did not receive 100 goat for 100 fish, then would it even be a fair versus? We suppose it depends on international fish markets and the price of stonks. Russia got something in return for these 100 breedable goats, and you can be sure that it is some kind of hard power, some kind of soft power, some kind of goat power, some kind of fish power. Let's read on. Elite breedable goats, not just your average breedable goat and not just your average elite goat, but an elite breedable goat. These are effing goats, goat and fish. Effing goats. Seriously, horny goats. 100 of these dairy goats arrived from St. Petersburg on the other side of the country and were then bound for North Korea, having passed veterinary and customs controls, the FCS said. This reminds Goat versus Fish in the verses of North Korea versus South Korea, which is the goat and which is the fish. This must be an arms shipment from Russia to North Korea to versus South Korea. That would make South Korea the fish. After all, it is surrounded by more of the Sea of the Fish, and now the goat army arsenal has been increased by 100 elite breedable goats since the opening of a new route between the countries at Kasan in November 2022. 2,200 live animals have been cleared for shipment to North Korea, including horses, seahorses, fish, and Holstein cows. Are cows goat or are they fish? If they make milk like a goat, they're probably goat. But this is where international relations can get a bit fancy because we don't know how they pronounce goat or fish in every language. Goat versus Fish is still learning how to communication Goat versus Fish to all of you. So can any Russian or North Korean fans of Goat versus Fish please inform Goat versus Fish if a Russian Holstein cow is a goat or if it is indeed a fish? We've heard of a cowfish. And there's the goats. Look at those goats. Look at those goats. Look into the eye of these goats. These are elite breedable goats. And if you don't take care of these goats now, there's going to be more goats and more goats and more goats. Multiplication. In early August, Russia's Veterinary and Agricultural Watch, goat or fish, Roslkhoznadzor announced that it had cleared 447 goats for shipment to Rason, North Korea, which it noted as the first batch of live animals exported to the country. Celebration for the first batch being goat. This sets a goat precedent. This sets a beautiful precedent for goat. Goat came in first that versus. That makes it a triumph for goat. Politico reported that these goat, 432 of them pregnant, according to the press release, were likely exported to help relieve North Korea's food shortages. Pregnant goat, now it's goat trafficking. Now you're trafficking unborn baby goat. This is an international outrage. Goat versus Fish decries this. Trafficking in pregnant and unborn baby goats. Repugnant to Goat versus Fish, repulsive to Goat versus Fish. But as a matter of historical verses, it can be said that the first live animal transfer was goat to North Korea from Russia. So it is still a triumph for goat. It is still a triumph for goat. In November, former ambassador to Russia and member of South Korea's Parliamentary Intelligence Committee, Wee Sung-lak, told the Korea Herald that alleviating Pyongyang's food crisis was part of compensation for the transfer of North Korean troops to the Russian armed forces, where they are now reportedly involved in combat operations against Ukrainian soldiers. So it comes back to the false verses of Russia versus Ukraine. And we have Russia trading pregnant goat for willing North Korean soldiers. Goats for soldiers. Goats for soldiers. Goat for soldiers. Does that seem like an even verses to you? Hey, how about you give us some fish to go die on the front lines and we'll send you some pregnant goat? Would you accept this verses? How many humans is a goat worth? How many humans is a pregnant, elite, breedable goat worth? Goat versus Fish does not know. We do not even know if a human is a goat or a fish. But these are philosophications for you in international relations. Goat versus fish, goat versus fish, goat versus fish. In late August, Primorsky Krais Veterinary Customs Agency said that 24 Orlov trotters, a breed of Russian draft horse, noted for its athleticism, were being shipped to North Korea. These horses, the agency said, had been microchipped to confirm the purity of their lineage. Oh, my verses. We have heard that Elon Muskrat wants to put chips in brains, but we did not know that we wanted to put chips in the brains of horses to verification their purity. Well, there's no purity. There is no purity in the horse unless it is a seahorse, and it will only be pure if it chooses goat or fish, because goat versus fish is the only pure verses there is, the only pure verses there is. And we did not see one mention of fish in this exchange, so it seems like goat is gaining dominance on the international stage. Last month, 70 animals were transferred to the Central Zoo in Pyongyang, including African lion, 2 bears, 2 yaks, 25 pheasants, 14 mandarin ducks, and 5 cockatoos. You see, this is why the average goat and fish is not trusting the news these verses, giving you clearly made-up false information as if there is such a thing as an African lion, bears, 2 yaks, 25 pheasants, 14 mandarin ducks, 5 cockatoos. Goat versus fish. 4 goat and fish, 3 goat fish, 2 goat and fish, and a goat versus a fish.
She's a killer queen 55. Appreciation, Killer Queen 55 for the radiation of goat versus fish. Oh, wait. You may say, where is goat versus fish? Here we are. Here's goat versus fish. Hi, I'm goat versus fish, the goat fish. Welcome to the living stream of goat versus fish. Are you goat or are you fish? Keen Crafts. Welcome to goat versus fish in celebration for goat. My, ginger liquor. My, indeed. They say candy's dandy, but liquor's quicker. But is candy the goat? Or is candy the fish? And is liquor the goat? Or is liquor the fish? Killer Queen is goat. Celebration for goat. Appreciation for the radiation. We do appreciation any radiation from Killer Queen 55. Keen Crafts, you have chosen goat. It would be keen if you followed goat versus fish. All of you now should follow goat versus fish. I'm having South Park flashbacks. Keen Crafts, thank you for following goat versus fish. Having South Park flashbacks. Oh, do you want a South Park flashback? We'll give you a South Park flashback. You just wait to versus. We'll give you a South Park flashback. Goat versus fish, goat versus fish, goat versus fish. Christmas at the Comedy Store.
Who's goat and who's fish? Around. We are making it twice and we're checking the list.
Here's your South Park flashback.
Who's goat and who's fish? Goat versus fish is asking around. Now there may be some of you still who are on the fence about celebration this Christmas. And for that we have this to say to you. Hey there, Mr. Fence Sitter. Merry fucking Christmas. I stayed up real late last night so that I could rehearse this. In case you haven't noticed, it's Billy Meyer's birthday. Choose yourself a riffle rap and fucking celebrate. Mighty birthday to you. Mighty birthday to you. Mighty birthday to you. Mighty birthday to you. Another year older, another year closer to death. Another year older, another verse closer to fence. Goat may have passions and fish may have dreams, but goat versus fish not as long as it seems. But anyway, mighty birthday to you. Mighty birthday to you. Mighty birthday to you.
That was Goat versus Fish at the world-famous Comedy Store, Los Angeles, and we were just there not too long ago. You all seem to be enjoying this versus very much, so we're going to show you something extra fun of Goat versus Fish, because we want you to be fans forever of Goat versus Fish. We want you to be like, I want to come back here and support Goat versus Fish forever. So we will show you this versus.
He was out.
Sunshine has been versing with Goat vs. Fish on YouTube Live every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Goat vs. Fish morning motivationals, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. specifically Pacific Standard Time. Join Goat vs. Fish. Are you getting ready, Sunshine? Are you getting ready, Sunshine?
Yeah, I was born ready.
Are you goat or are you fish?
I am goat.
Make some noise for the goat! Make some noise! Some say goat versus fish is like a dating game, yeah? So here's our new project, Make some noise for Spanish Fish and the Tijuana Goats.
So that was a little Goat vs. Fish, Killer Queen 55 and Keen Crafts. We are now going to continue the Goat vs. Fish Televerse's watching party. Goat vs. Fish reminds you, Russia sends one. Goat vs. Fish reminds you that if Goat vs. Fish were live streaming simultaneously on two different platforms such as YouTube and Twitch, that Twitch terms of service would preclude us from telling you to go watch Goat vs. Fish on YouTube. In other completely unrelated verses, Goat vs. Fish is trying to achieve 3,000 watch hours on YouTube. Celebration, let's continue the verses. Keen Crafts, appreciation for your follow of Goat vs. Fish. Welcome to the congregation. Let's see, we were talking about the breedable goats, maybe somewhere about here. Relieve North Korea's food shortages. Pregnant goat. Now it's goat trafficking. Now you're trafficking unborn baby goat. This is an international outrage. Goat vs. Fish decries this. Trafficking in pregnant and unborn baby goats. Repugnant to Goat vs. Fish. Repulsive to Goat vs. Fish. But as a matter of historical verses, it can be said that the first live animal transfer was goat to North Korea from Russia. So it is still a triumph for goat. In November, former ambassador to Russia and member of South Korea's Parliamentary Intelligence Committee, Wee Sung-lak, told the Korea Herald that alleviating Pyongyang's food crisis was part of compensation for the transfer of North Korean troops to the Russian armed forces,
where they are now reportedly involved in combat operations against Ukrainian soldiers. Ah, so it comes back to the false
We
verses
see your Killer Queen.
of
Appreciation,
Russia
Killer Queen.
versus Ukraine. And we have Russia trading pregnant goat for willing North Korean soldiers. Goats for soldiers. Goats for soldiers. Goat for soldiers. Does that seem like an even versus to you? Hey, how about you give us some fish to go die on the front lines and we'll send you some pregnant goat? Would you accept this versus? How many humans is a goat worth? How many humans is a pregnant, elite, breedable goat worth? Goat versus fish does not know. We do not even know if a human is a goat or a fish. But these are philosophications for you in international relations. Goat versus fish, goat versus fish, goat versus fish. In late August, Primorsky Krais Veterinary Customs Agency said that 24 Orlov trotters, a breed of Russian draft horse, noted for its athleticism, were being shipped to North Korea. These horses, the agency said, had been microchipped to confirm the purity of their lineage. Oh, my verses. We have heard that Elon Muskrat wants to put chips in brains, but we did not know that we wanted to put chips in the brains of horses to verification their purity. Well, there's no purity. There is no purity in the horse unless it is a seahorse, and it will only be pure if it chooses goat or fish, because goat versus fish is the only pure versus there is, the only pure versus there is. And we did not see one mention of fish in this exchange, so it seems like goat is gaining
Appreciation,
dominance
Shreya.
on the international
Celebration.
stage. Last month, 70 animals were transferred to the Central Zoo in Pyongyang, including African lion, 2 bears, 2 yaks, 25 pheasants, 40 mandarin ducks, and 5 cockatoos. You see, this is why the average goat and fish is not trusting the news these verses, giving you clearly made-up false information as if there is such a thing as an African lion, bears, 2 yaks, 25 pheasants, 40 mandarin ducks, 5 cockatoos, goat versus fish. 4 goat and fish, 3 goat fish, 2 goat and fish, and a goat versus a fish. Are you goat or fish? Are you a goat or fish? Are you a goat or fish? Are you a goat or fish? Are you goat or fish? Are you a goat or fish? Are you goat or fish? Are you goat or fish? Wow Mom says, a proxy versus. Yes, indeed. Eldergrown says, an elite versus. Every true versus of goat versus fish is an elite versus of goat versus fish. But that does not stop the goat and the fish from counting amongst themselves elite goat and elite fish. New Vegas 10,000 says, can we be elite goats? You can be elite goats. And you can be elite fish, especially if you join the Goat vs. Fish Patreon for $5 American dollars a month. You too can be an elite goat or fish. Elite goat will defeat the fish if they are not specialists. The fish have specialists of their own. There are elite fish. Oh, don't you despair. Those 100 elite breedable goats, they are very likely to find at least 100 elite breedable fish, and we hear that fish can breed at a much more rapid versus than even goats, than even the horniest of goats. Rami says 100 is not enough. No, we could always use more goat and more fish. Eldergrown says foreign versus can be confusing. Well, until you realize that they're all goat versus fish. Cows more similar to goats? We do not deny that there does appear to be some similarity between cows and goats, the horns, the furs, the milks, but we do like to leave it up to the cows themselves to choose goat or fish. But if goat versus fish were a betting versus, we would suspect that the cows would go for goat. But then again, we have heard of a cow fish. Have you heard of a cow goat? Are the humans goat or fish? That is the question. Are humans goat or are they fish? That was fun, lol. Celebration, we are glad that you had fun with that versus. We have more news. We have more news of goat versus fish to cover. As Goat vs. Fish Thursday Evolution, we're going to keep covering more and more information on Goat vs. Fish. Wow Mom says both cows and goats have ruminating stomachs. Celebration for rumination. And you can ruminate on Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. Why is Goat vs. Fish? What is the meaning of Goat vs. Fish? How did you come up with Goat vs. Fish? Am I Goat vs. Fish? Am I a goat or a fish? Rumination, contemplation, celebration. Goat versus fish versus goat versus fish versus goat versus fish. Are you goat or a fish? Are you goat or are you fish? Don't go sitting on the fence. Don't go sitting on the fence. Russia, are you goat or fish? North Korea, are you goat or are you fish? This has been a versus of Goat versus Fish.
Here on the moon with Goat versus Fish is too much coffee man fish, too much coffee man fish. But Goat versus Fish needs aid from the goat that created the fish, that created this fish. Oh, look who it is, look, it is the goat, it is the goat. Goat, you have created too much coffee man fish, yes?
Yes.
Goat versus Fish, this fish is trying to help Goat versus Fish in these verses of the moon, but there is one versus. It had too much coffee, it had too much coffee. What should Goat versus Fish do? What should Goat versus Fish do?
Drink more coffee.
More coffee. Too much coffee. Fish needs more coffee. Needs more coffee. Those are the verses. It was those verses all along. It was those verses all along. It was always Goat versus Fish. You can never have too much Goat versus Fish. You can never have too much Goat versus Fish. Too much coffee man fish. Let us continue our verses of the moon.
This is a critical versus. Goldfish is changing its name to Chilean sea bass. Here's why. Why is a false question to Goat versus Fish. Who is Goat versus Fish? What is Goat versus Fish? Why is Goat versus Fish? There is only one true question. Are you goat or are you fish? And goldfish has been an amazing fish for many verses. Even the goat, who are versus the fish, cannot deny the power of the goldfish, the very popular goldfish, snacking fish, cheesy fish. Goat have cheese, fish have cheese too. Goldfish crackers, cheesy fish. Recently, cheesy fish has been putting on sunglasses to become a cool fish. Goldfish have become rainbowfication in recent verses. They've become spicy in recent verses. Goldfish has been making big verses of evolution to versus that goat, and now goldfish is changing its name to Chilean sea bass? Well, when you have chosen fish, you can be any kind of fish that you wish. When you have chosen goat, you can be any kind of goat. That verse is fish. So let's have a look at this verses. Let's have a look at this verses. Goat versus fish. And can we have a verses here? Look at this verses, goat and fish. Look at this verses. Fine dining with fish. Fine dining with fish. Even that little fish. A singular goldfish. And all this utensilary. Pretty fancy fish. New York, CNN. Goldfish crackers are synonymous with hungry kids. But the company is betting on a sophisticated name change that could expand the audience. Well, let Goat versus Fish tell you something about kids. Kids are baby goat. Kids are baby goat. And hungry kids like to versus fish, and hungry kids like goldfish. But perhaps
Goldfish are not just for versing baby goat. They want fully mature goat to versus the fish. The Pepperidge Farm snack is tweaking its name for a limited time to, quotation, Chilean sea bass, quotation, a more grown-up title, thanks to fence, a strategy to attract adults and reestablished its relevance amid a broader decline in snacking following the fence-demic peak. Oh my verses, there was a decline in snacking during the fence-demic. You remember the great fence-demic? Where goat and fish had to stay 6 verses apart. Oh, the goat and fish, 6 verses apart had to stay the goat and fish. And you're telling Goat vs. Fish that there was a decline in snacking during the fence-demic, heckin' random, with a 1-month gifted verses to Chilean sea bass appreciation. It's a gifted verses. Heckin' random, that is a gifted verses for fish. That's a gifted verses for fish. Heckin' random, are you goat or fish? Gifted verses to Chilean sea bass celebration for fish. Random verses, what are random verses? Goat versus fish, the goatfish can tell you that we had a very marked increation in our snacking during the fence-demic. You tell goat versus fish. Did you snack more during the fence-demic? Ah, yes. A decline in snacking following the fence-demic peak. Well, listen, goat, they climb up the mountain, they climb back down again to versus the fish. So there was a peak versus during the fence-demic, and now Chilean sea bass is getting all upset because it's not as high as it once was. Well, just bring back the fence-demic, why don't you? Just manufacture another fence-demic, and then you can have an increase in snacking once again. Be careful what you verse for, goldfish crackers. Despite rebranding as a popular seafood item, the recipe and appearance of the snack aren't changing, so it's still fish. Do not despair, it's not becoming goat or any verses. Goldfish explained in a press release that the much more adult name is to reinforce that goldfish crackers are... We just read this verses! What was this verses written by artificial intelligence? Oh, my verses. Come on, Jordan Valinsky, get on your verses. You said in the verses, the first verses, goldfish crackers are synonymous with hungry kids, but the company's betting on a sophisticated name change that could expand the audience. And now in this verse, just 2 verses later, you say that Goldfish explained in a press release that the much more adult name is to reinforce that goldfish crackers are not just for kids. We just heard that verses. Get on with the verses! Pointing to the growth of trends popularized by Generation Z and millennials on TikToks, where you can follow Goat vs. Fish, such as making girl dinners. Are girls goat or fish? Are girls goat or fish? Are girls goat or are they fish? Celebration, celebration. Quotation, we know goldfish are a lunchbox icon, but the truth is, they're loved by snackers of all ages. Well, if that's a true verses, then shouldn't you already be selling goldfish to adult goat and fish? So it's a playful reminder. They just want to remind you. We just want to remind you that you like fish. Hey, goat. Hey, goat. This is just a reminder from Goat vs. Fish. Hey, adult goat, remember those fish? Do you remember the 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 fish? Remember the fish! Remember the fish. Remember the fish. Remember the fish. And by the verses, remember Goat vs. Fish. Please remember Goat vs. Fish and remember to follow Goat vs. Fish. Remember Goat vs. Fish. A playful reminder, you say? We thought this was an adult verses. Is it a playful verses or is it an adult verses? Playful versus adult is a false versus. Some say Goat vs. Fish is adult, some say Goat vs. Fish is playful. We went ahead and gave, they continue, our iconic cheddar cracker a new fun grown-up name. It's fun. What could be more fun than a Chilean sea bass?
Appreciation Random Person 3000, Goat vs. Fish, is streaming again the morning motivationals, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Join Goat vs. Fish on YouTube and on Twitch. Appreciation random person 3000.
But, and here comes the fence, the Chilean sea bass snacks won't appear on shelves. Oh my verses. Bags featuring the branding are only being sold online beginning Wednesday verses, and just for 1 week, GoatVsFish reminds the goat and fish in the universe that the traditionally branded bags are still available now and always at retailers nationwide. You see, the fish, they fear change, fish. They fear change. The fish wants to change, but it fears to change. The fish, this could be an evolution for fish. This could be an evolution for fish. They make a big verses. Fish makes a big verses. Oh, we're going to change our verses rather playfully to Chilean sea bass. However, we're not actually going to manufacture them at any scale nor send them to any stores. You just have to buy them on the interwebiverse. GoatVsFish wants to be walking around the verses. GoatVsFish wants to be there, shopping for goat, shopping for fish, marketing GoatVsFish. And we want to look at the verses, and we want to see a golden Chilean sea bass looking at GoatVsFish. They deny this versus to GoatVsFish. That would be a playful versus. That would be a whimsical versus. But no, you just have to buy it off the interwebiverse. We think GoatVsFish is going to buy it on the interwebiverse. And Thunderhead81 just followed GoatVsFish on TikTok celebration. But maybe GoatVsFish will buy the Chilean sea bass for GoatVsFish. After all, it is GoatVsFish. We should conduct an investigation about the cheesy Chilean sea bass fish. In fact, the tweaked name is a nod to its roots. Roots. Are roots goat or fish? Pepperidge Farm launched GoatVsFish in the American States of Unitedness in 1962, initially aimed at adults as a bar snack. Well, bars are for fences. Bars are for fences. Since the 1990s, however, GoatVsFish have been sold as a snack for baby goat with playful packaging. So we see goat and fish. Originally, when you were drinking like a fish, you would enjoy some cheesy inebriation, but then the baby goats got a hold of it, and then they started marketing to kids, and now they want to get back at the adults again. They want to say, Please drink these cheesy fish when you are enjoying inebriation. We beg of thee. We beg of thee. Get drunk and consume Chilean sea bass. The clever stunt is a simple way to remind customers that GoatVsFish exist amid growing competition from upstarts, according to Nate Rosen, who we do not know if they are goat or fish. Nate Rosen, are you goat or fish? The founder of Express Checkout, Oh My Fences, a newsletter that tracks consumer packaged goods and trends. There is no good or evil, there is only goat and fish. Quotation, with so many new brands creating trendy looking and better for you versions of consumers' favorite childhood snacks, I think it's clear indication that they need to be reminded of their beloved classics that inspired these copycats. Is a cat a goat or a fish? You hear it, goat and fish. You need to be reminded. You need to be reminded. You need to be reminded about GoatVsFish. You need to be reminded as a kid about GoatVsFish. You need to be reminded as an adult about GoatVsFish. When you become a kid and then you become an adult, you need to be reminded about GoatVsFish. When you age in reverse, you need to be reminded about GoatVsFish. You constantly need to be reminded about GoatVsFish. Don't you love GoatVsFish? Remember how you love GoatVsFish? Remember how you enjoy GoatVsFish? Remember how playful is GoatVsFish? Remember when you got drunk and consumed GoatVsFish? Remember when you were a kid and enjoyed GoatVsFish? There are many imitators of GoatVsFish. There are many imitators of GoatVsFish, but there's only one true versus of GoatVsFish, and you will continue to purchase GoatVsFish, and you will continue to give your American dollar to GoatVsFish, and you will continue to follow GoatVsFish, and you will continue to love GoatVsFish. It's just a friendly reminder of GoatVsFish. It's just a friendly reminder of GoatVsFish, and as a matter of a playful versus to appeal to all the young goat and fish, we're going to change our verses to fish versus goat. Because as long as the goat are versus the fish, and as long as the fish are versus the goat, it's still goat versus fish. Goat versus fish should make a limited edition shirt that says fish versus goat. That would be a fine versus. That would be a fine versus.
If this fish is going to continue to remind you how much you love the fish, then Goat vs. Fish is going to remind you how much you love Goat vs. Fish, because the goat are loved just as much as the fish, depending on the verses, depending on if you're a goat or fish, and Goat vs. Fish. New brands. Goldfish is not a new brand. Goldfish is not a new brand, they would have you believe, but Goat vs. Fish is the original brand. Goat vs. Fish is the original brand. The original brand is Goat vs. Fish. And goldfish is just a derivation of Goat vs. Fish, and so is Chilean sea bass. Goat vs. Fish can't help but ponder as we look at this, that this whole entire article on CNN is just a big promotion for fish. Can you trust the mainstream media, these verses? Can you trust the mainstream media? Stream is a place where fish swim. Stream is a place where fish swim, and look at what they're putting in the mainstream media. They're just inundating it with fish. Goat vs. Fish suspects that Chilean sea bass purchased the verses so that we could see this, and they call it news, Goat and Fish. They call it the new verses. They call it the new verses, but really it's just a fence-vertisement for fish. This is fish-aganda. This is fish-aganda. Goats, rise up. The fish-aganda has infiltration. The CNN. CNN is infiltration by fish. It's fish media. It's fish media. Reminding you how much you love fish. Reminding you how much that baby goats love fish. Well, where's the golden goat? Where's the golden goat? Where's the goat crackers? We want a fair and balanced verses. We want a fair and balanced verses on Goat vs. Fish. CNN, are you goat or are you fish? CNN, are you goat or are you fish? This has been a critical verses. Follow Goat vs. Fish on all social media at Goat vs. Fish. Are you goat or are you fish?
Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish is still in zombie land. Where is Vermin Supreme? Where is Vermin Supreme? Goat versus fish is still
right
all
here.
alone, but no longer alone in zombie land.
I live in the wall.
Look, it's Vermin Supreme. It is Vermin
Can you hear
Supreme.
me?
Celebration for a Vermin Supreme.
Can you
Celebration
hear
for a
me?
Vermin
Can you hear
Supreme.
me? I'm in the wall. I think I'm in the walls. Can you hear me?
Oh, you are trapped in the fence? Are you trapped by the fence? Oh no, Vermin
I'm
Supreme, trapped by the
or
fence.
something. Defense, 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 defense.
Defense. Oh no, you are defenseless against the fence. You are defenseless against the fence. We wish to free you. We wish to free you from the fence with the power of Goat versus Fish. Are you there? Can you hear Goat versus Fish? Can you hear Goat versus Fish?
Mr. Fish Goat, I presume. Mr. Fish Goat, it's a pleasure to meet you live and in fishy goat smell. Now, some say that you smell more like a goat, and some say you smell more like a fish. Which do you think?
Well, this is the verses of the fence-demic, of the fence-demic. Yes, the pandemic spreads all around the universe. The pandemic spreads all around the universe, and it separates goat from fish. It separates goat from fish. You cannot even smell Goat versus Fish through the zoom of Zombieland. You cannot even perceive truly Goat versus Fish. We wonder if you cannot smell Goat versus Fish. How will you know? How will you know which is the smell of Goat versus Fish?
I can't smell the goat through the screen here.
Well, let us, perhaps if we just give you some aid, perhaps if we give you this goat, perhaps now can you smell the goat? Or perhaps if it's two goat, now can you smell the goat?
No.
Or perhaps more goat. Maybe we just need more goat for you to smell the goat.
Goats are very fragrant, you know. Goats are one of the more fragrant of the mammals, rivaled only by fish. And of course, fish smell fine. Fresh fish is great. Fresh fish don't smell at all. But once they're rotting, on the other hand, when a goat rots, it ain't no bed of roses either, quite frankly. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Goat versus Fish knows what you are saying. You know, in some of the verses, most of the political verses to Goat versus Fish are very fancy and not choosing goat or fish, but they do say this.
They say some verses, a fish rots from the head down. Is
How
this
about
what
a
you have
goat?
found? Is this what you have found?
How does a goat rot?
Well, we suppose it would be the reverse. If a fish rots from the head down, then we suppose a goat would rot from the tail up, because a goat is goat while a fish is fish, and that is goat versus fish, and that is goat versus fish. What are you consuming? What are you consuming to goat versus fish? Is it a goat or a fish?
Goat.
What is you are consuming, Vermin Supreme?
Goat.
Are you consuming a goat?
Well, I'm not. Goat ain't got my vote. No, I'm just eating goat.
So you are not voting for goat. That means you are voting for fish.
I've eaten fish. I've eaten goat. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, you can tell me if you prefer to eat the goat or you prefer to eat the fish. That would be a versus of goat versus fish. Does Vermin Supreme prefer to consume goat or fish?
Well, goat meat is good, but there's so many different types of fish. There's not many types of goat, quite frankly. I mean, yeah, they may say like, oh, there's this one and that one, and miniature goats and jumbo goats and billy goats, but they're all pretty much goats, and I'm guessing they pretty much taste the same. But fish, we're talking about fish, there's a real variety of fish in the sea, and a lot of them have very distinct flavors, depending on how you prepare them, of course. So there's a lot of factors to consider, which I prefer. But I think, in general, I think I would probably order a fish off the menu before I got a goat.
It would order fish. It would order a fish.
I mean,
Here's the service of fish. Here's the service of fish. Goat versus fish serves the fish to you. Goat versus fish is in service of Vermin Supreme with
sir,
fish.
Is the goat a jerk or not?
A jerked goat? It could be. There are many different kinds of goat. You never quite know what kind of goat or fish it is going to be until you ask it if it is goat or fish.
Well, a jerk goat is pretty tasty. I mean, I will give you that. I mean, generally don't see goat on the menu too often. But if you
This is pitiable. This is pitiable. There should be more goat and more fish. Everywhere you look, you should have the choice of goat or fish.
It could be fairly tasty. Although I would have to consider it. I have to weigh it heavily. Like I say, fish is more readily different textures, different flavors. Yeah. Anyway,
now, Vermin Supreme.
What do you like? Which do you vote? What's your best? Who's your favorite?
Look at Vermin Supreme. Look at Vermin Supreme trying to get out of the one true question by turning it upon goat versus fish. You know that it is goat versus fish, and you know that goat versus fish is here to ask you the one true question. With all watching before you, they are clamoring to know. They are clamoring to know. Vermin Supreme, are you goat or are you fish?
If a fish and a goat got in a fight, who would win?
Well, that is goat versus fish. That is goat versus fish. But are you goat or fish, Vermin Supreme? Are you goat or are you fish? This is the versus. The versus is now. The versus is now. Are you goat or are you fish?
Am I a fish or am I a goat?
Yes, that is the question of goat versus fish. We wish to know if you're goat or fish.
I don't know. I don't like that question. It makes no sense to me.
Well, you do not have to like the question, but it is the one true question. Are you goat or are you fish?
It is the one question that you ask, for sure. I will say
we do ask it, and many others ask it as well, yes.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I can't walk down the street without having half a dozen people asking me goat or fish in this day and age.
So how goat versus fish would hope that following this versus, everyone started asking you if you were goat or fish. That is how we knew it would really be goat versus fish.
Totally do. You should see the message board. It's lighting up. It's crazy.
Messages of goat versus fish. So is this to say that when confronted with the one true question of goat versus fish, though you have had long to ponder, that you are saying you do not like the question and you refuse to answer goat versus fish? Is this what you say to goat versus fish when we ask, are you goat or are you fish?
I suppose it would be fair. I mean, it sounds like one of those gotcha questions, And I don't know.
You have only got yourself. Vermin Supreme, Vermin Supreme, Vermin Supreme is on the fence. Vermin Supreme is on the fence. Oh no, Vermin Supreme is on the fence. It is on the fence. Oh, look at you trying to outfence goat versus fish. Outfence goat versus fish.
Mine doesn't squeak. Squeak.
Well, Vermin Supreme, even though you sit on the fence and this is most pitiable to goat versus fish, we could sing you a song of celebration if you wish. We could celebrate Vermin Supreme with a song of celebration of a fence sitter if you wish.
Oh, that would be swell, but we got a lot of things going on, and we have to get to the next act. I'm being told by our producers up in the producing booth here. And so yeah, okay, it's rolling up here. So I guess we're going into the next entertainment.
Well, if Goat versus Fish could just have a final. Thank you for welcoming Goat versus Fish. Thank you for welcoming Goat versus Fish. Follow Goat versus Fish on all social media at Goat versus Fish. Never gonna choose a goat. Never gonna choose a fish. Never gonna choose a goat or fish. Never gonna choose a goat. Never gonna choose a fish.
Well, anyway, I guess thank you very much, Goat versus Fish. It was
always thank Goat versus Fish
of you to take your some time out of your very, very busy schedule and gracing us with your presence here on the internet today. And we look forward to working with you in the future. And yes. So once again, it's me, it's Vermin Supreme, and I believe that I'm here and.
It is time for another Adult Swim Festa versus of Goat versus Fish. Let us find out if they are goat or if they are fish.
Fish.
You are a fish.
Fish.
What is your power, fish?
I can swim fast.
You can swim. It is a swimming fish. It is a swimming fish. Let us see the fish. Let us see the fish. Ooh, it is a fish. But next to the fish, next to the fish. Are you goat or fish? It is a goat. It is a goat. Goat.
Appreciation to Thunder Tracks for resubscribing to Goat vs. Fish. 28 months of Goat. Listen to the musications of Thunder Tracks. Thunder Tracks has made tracks about goat. Thunder Tracks has made tracks about fish. We think it's time for a new Thunder track. We think it's time for a new Thunder track about goat versus fish. Maybe you should make a morning motivational Thunder track. It's all about... It's like a morning time versus, like waking up and morning, it's in the morning and we're goat versus fish and it's goat versus fish. Morning motivational and a goat versus fish. It's got sort of a morning daytime televerses type of vibe, but it's mixed Thunder track style for your morning motivations. And then we play it. We say it's time for your Goat versus Fish morning motivation. You make like a Goat versus Fish morning motivational jingle, something like that. If you made a short Goat versus Fish morning motivational jingle, we could play it as part of the intro to the morning motivational of Goat versus Fish. Thunder Tracks. Fine goat, proud goat, mighty goat. Goat vs. Fish reminds Thunder Tracks of the Twitch terms of service that says that Goat vs. Fish cannot promote the YouTube live streams of Goat vs. Fish when Goat vs. Fish is streaming on Twitch. Thunder Tracks. Celebration for Goat. Come visit Goat vs. Fish. Come to Los Angeles. Visit Goat vs. Fish.
The fish is swimming fast. What do you do, Goat? What do you do?
A jump!
Jumping goat! Jumping goat! Yes! Are you going to jump, Goat? Are you going to jump, Goat? Yes, leaping goat, leaping goat. We did not quite capture it, but it was so much action, so much action. Yes. And then it was an even versus of goat and fish, but then the one who recorded Goat versus Fish, ooh, it is double in the verses, it is double in the verses. Are you
a goat?
You are a goat! You are a goat? Goat versus Fish thought that you were a fish. But it is a goat after all the verses. It is a goat, it is a goat, and it is goat for this goat, it is goat for this goat. Goat for the goat. It is goat for the goat, it is goat for the goat. It is for you, it is for you. How about the secret fish? Now listen to Goat versus Fish. Are you goat or are you fish? Final verses. It is a goat, then give the fish back to Goat versus Fish. The goat consumed the fish! Wow, amazing verses, amazing verses! The goat consumed the fish, the goat consumed the fish! Did you expect it? Did you expect it? No, but the goat, it says it can consume anything, and then the goat consumed the fish! It is two goats. It is one fish.
Are you goat or fish?
Fish.
It is another fish. It is another fish. Fish, you have been consumed by goat. You have been consumed by goat. What do you do, fish? What do you do? The fish just kept looking and making sound of fish. Kept looking and making sound of fish. Yes, the fish is being consumed, but it does not stop it. It does not stop it from being a fish. It does not stop fish from being a fish. That is the power of fish. That is the power of fish. But the verses is not ended. Are you goat or fish? Goat. Goat. It is a goat. It is a goat. Yes, goat. Goat.
Goat. Goat, 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 goat.
That is a fine verses. That is a very fine verses. And it is goat and it is fish. Are you goat or are you fish?
Goat.
It is another goat. It is another goat. Goat, you are triumphing. You are triumphing. How do you triumph over the fish?
We scale mountains.
Scale mountains. Scaling the mountain of the goat. Powerful goat. Powerful goat. Yes, and it was goat versus fish. 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 And it was goat versus fish. And it was goat versus fish. And it was goat versus fish. Celebration for goat versus fish. What happened? What happened to that goat? You'll see Adult Swim. This is goat versus fish. This is goat versus fish. Adult Swim should become goat versus fish. We should ask them if Adult Swim should become goat versus fish. That would be an excellent question. Yes, yes, yes. A final question for you. Should Adult Swim become goat versus fish? Should Adult Swim become goat versus fish?
Fish.
Should Adult Swim become goat versus fish?
No, too confrontational.
Ah, too confrontational.
But Adult Swim should have goat versus fish.
Interesting verses, interesting verses. Should Adult Swim become goat versus fish?
It is.
Absolutely yes! Goat versus fish should be Adult Swim, and Adult Swim should be goat versus fish, or at least you should have goat versus fish, but you already have goat versus fish because I am here and I am goat versus fish. Celebration. Follow Goat vs. Fish on the Instagram and the Twitterver and the Book of Faces and the YouTube and the Goat vs. Fish podcast. It is all at Goat vs. Fish. It is all at Goat vs. Fish.
Their willies, but the willies. Gather round once again, gather round Willytown Fest. Willytown Fest 9, we miss you, we miss you. And the ones on stage now, they said Goat vs. Fish, we missed you most of all. Gather round to witness. Some say it is a celebration, some say there will be some inebriation. Some say they are from Dayton. Make some noise for station 4, 3, 2.
Master of Celebration, Goat versus Fish, everybody. Are we ready to go? What do you? Yeah, do it. All right. Goat versus Fish
implores you, Willytown 9, all of you, get off your fences, get off your posteriors, and gather round the stage. Gather round the stage. You have traveled from far, you have traveled from near, you have traveled from space to be here. So now is the verses to come and behold. They are here for your protection. They come here for your protection, and their debut album will be released next month on Spotify and all major platforms. Make some celebration for intergalactic Space Force! Gather round now, gather round now. Gather round the stage of Willytown Fest. There are some who may still suppose that Willytown Fest is Lilliputian, but here is your solution, here is your solution. Goat versus Fish saw them at Willytown 8. The roof was lowered, but once they were done, they blew the roof clear off! They're huge! They're ginormous! They're colossal, and there is no bigger act at Willytown Fest. Come closer to take a gander at their grandeur. Make some celebration for the Giants! Hear it? The sound of the drum beckoning you forward to Willytown stage. Make some celebration for this mighty improvisation. It's time for a banger! A banger, a bonger. We could go on longer, but here is Corey Hunt! Goat versus Fish calls you all to gather round, gather round, gather round Willytown stage once more. Now they have all gathered, and now they're all watching MC Goat versus Fish. And oh, is there something that we've forgotten? Oh no, there's a band that's coming up to play. Oh, what if we forget their name? What if it all goes fence? Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh wait. We're probably just paratroopers. No, that's not the verses. We're probably just paraphernalia. No, that's not the verses. It's probably just paranoid! Gather round, gather round. Come close to the sound of the voice of Goat versus Fish. We have always promised you great things on this very stage. Has Goat versus Fish ever deceived you? Hookahville, 2 weeks. The legendary Legend Valley. Hookahville, 2 weeks in Legend Valley. Legend has it that before Goat vs. Fish even was perceived at Willytown 7, MC Goat vs. Fish with the Uncle Joe No Show, that Goat vs. Fish was perceived weeks before by you at Hookahville. And now you too can perceive what you are about to perceive at Hookahville at Willytown Fest. Make some celebration for Acoustic Hookah! Get on down to the mightiest celebration around. Come closer, closer still. 50 million steps closer, closer to experience the fest, Oh, Goat vs. Fish warned you about the fence. And oh no, just as we are about to see that stick glow, we hear the pitiable verses of Ralph Mouth the drumming fish trying to versus a fence instead of a goat. No, we warned you, Fishbone. We warned you, Fishbone. If you are feeling mournful, you are not alone. You are not alone. But Goat vs. Fish is the master of celebration of Willytown Fest, and this is a celebration! 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 Oh, the celebration is about to begin. You can feel it tingling. You can feel it tingling within you, but there are a few basic verses that we must do for Goat vs. Fish at the request of Fishy Mo. Miss Ledbuta, are you goat or fish?
Goat, baby.
Celebration for goat! Celebration
Goat,
for
baby, yeah!
goat!
Goat,
J-Mo! Are you goat or fish?
I am a shrimp swimming in the sea of the fish, baby.
Shrimpy Mo.
Are you goat or fish?
I'm a fish, baby.
Celebration for Shrimpy Mo the fish! The Shrimpy fish! Celebration for goat, celebration for fish. Now, Ralph Mouth was a known fish, And this was a versus with one goat and two fish. But now there is another! And we want an extra special celebration of welcoming by all of you out there at Willytown Fest. Make some celebration for Chris Bro! Chris Bro, are you goat or are you fish? Goat. Celebration for goat! Celebration for goat! You never know what's going to happen on Goat vs. Fish. You never know what's going to happen at Willytown Fest. And this versus Glowstick is going to give you some very special goat-type celebrations. We do have one more pity, however, and that is that, let us remember now, that Glowstick did sever their own willy. Let us hear it for the willy. Let us hear it for Willy. Let us hear it for Willy. One final verse is for Glowstick Willy. And the Willy lives on in Willytown Fest! Now, make some celebration for the true, the versus,
We're not gonna give
Celebration! We've heard the singing of Ralph Mouth the Fish, and it was... Okay, celebration! And Chris Bro is a mighty goat, a mighty banging goat, but we know there is only one true drummer of Glow Stick! With great ceremony and celebration, we call upon Ralph Mouth the Bonefish to bang that gong! 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 Bang that gong!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Celebration! Oh, goat are ahead, the fish are behind. And you know that verses just crossed my mind. And you know that verses just crossed my mind. Gather round, Willytown, Willytown. They have come from St. Louis. The least you can do is to gather round Willytown stage now. For appreciation of the world's oldest teenagers and also world champion Frisbee player. Celebration. Here they come. Oh, the evening will go long at Willytown. But by the end, if you are no longer living, you will be grateful that you are dead. This is a direct quotation. Prepare yourself for some good old Grateful Dead with the swag! Afternoon to you. And without further ado, the musications continue with the mighty Jory Avner. Celebration! Returning now for their first, their second, their third Willytown Fest. It's the goat you've all been waiting for. And if you weren't, then you should have been, because it's going to be an amazing musication from Matt Suarez! Celebration Willytown Fest, you had just heard from Matt Suarez the goat. But now is time for the rain of fish, A big, mighty, spectacular, and perhaps a little wet celebration for Liz Vega! Celebration, Willytown Fest! Celebration! Oh, goat versus fish, bade that the sea of the fish fall upon the land of the goat. Fall upon the land of the goat! It's a mighty versus, and if you look out there in the sky, who knows? We may see a great and beautiful bow of unification coming soon.
coming soon. We bade you welcome to Willytown Fest. Goat vs. Fish is the maid master of celebrations. Willytown Fest welcomes you to bed. Goat versus fish calls to you, beckons you around Willytown, beckons you around Willytown. Got a fence reason for not choosing goat or a fish now. Got a fence reason for not choosing goat or a fish now. It was a daydream, dream, daydream. Was it all a daydream that Willytown Fest became Goat versus Fish? Was it all a daydream? We have heard of Dream Fest. We have heard of Dream Fest. Oh, it is a dream of Goat versus Fish that maybe there will be an invitation to Dream Fest by you to Goat versus Fish. Celebration! 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 We must take a versus. Oh, this one doesn't know what we just said. We said Goat versus Fish. That's the whole versus. And daydream, celebration. Willytown Fest! The versus has come to wish a mighty birthday celebration. We've got somebody's mighty birthday to you. Mighty birthday to you. Mighty birthday. Eric, the sound and power guy, Glass Moon Man, and BRM, friends of Glow Stick. Mighty birthday to you. Don't sit on the fence. Some say it's not real, but we assure you there's still an appeal. There's still an appeal. Gaze your eyes now upon Willytown Fest, for we presentation to you now, Dustin Smith and the Daydreamers. Gather round, gather round, gather round, gather round, Willytown. I wandered lonely as a fence, and miles to go before I goat, and miles to goat before I fish. Goat versus fish. The MC and master of celebration of Willytown Fest. Some say it was not always so. Some say no, 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 there was one before Goat versus Fish. And of course, in the beginning, there was Goat versus Fish. So actually, before that one, it was still Goat versus Fish. But they offer wisdom. They offer wisdom and ponderings for your mind to contemplation. We know you are waiting for glow. We know you're waiting for glow. But you're just going to have to glow with the flow. You're just going to have to glow with the flow. Relaxation and celebration. For flow poetry!
Oh, yeah. Hey, Willytown. Saturday night at Willytown. How you doing? How you feeling? Please, please make a shout out to the whole production crew. Eric, John, the whole gang that's doing their thing, keeping it going all weekend. Come on, raise your voices, everybody. I had the great honor of emceeing Willytown, Fest, for a few years, and I would just like to say one thing from the heart. Being an MC is not the easiest thing, and it's not the easiest thing because you're around for 10 hours, and the bands keep switching, and every hour you got to be ready to go. You come up, you do your thing, you get all excited, you rock it out, and everybody gives a big cheer for the band, and then you kind of wander off. Well, I love you guys too, but I would like to make sure that we give a big cheer for the Willytown MC this year, all right? So this is just for this cat. We're gonna raise our voices, and we're gonna bring him back on, and then he's gonna bring Glow Stick on. So everybody, please, 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 raise the roof, shout to the sky for Goat versus Fish, everybody!
In the beginning, there was Goat versus Fish, the Goat Fish. And Goat versus Fish said that there should be goat and that there should be fish. There is no alpha or omega. There is no black or white. There is no good or evil. There is only goat. And fish. And goat versus fish. You have many questions, yes. Who is Goat versus Fish? What is Goat versus Fish? Why is Goat versus Fish? But there is only one question. Are you goat or are you fish? Make some noise for the goat! Make some noise for the fish! Celebration for goat! Celebration for fish! Celebration for goat! Celebration for fish! Sounds like an even versus. Sounds like an even versus to Goat versus Fish. But wait! The one cries out, I want to be something that's not a goat or a fish. I want to be both a goat and a fish. I want to be neither goat nor a fish. Goat versus Fish is trying to introduction at Willytown Fest. Stop interrupting Goat versus Fish with all of your fancy behavior. Please don't sit on the fence. You see that fence there? Don't sit on it. Goat versus Fish. Oh, this meteor shower is brought to you by Goat versus Fish. Behold! Behold, Goat versus Fish brought you showers of the sea of the fish that fell upon the land of the goat, and now we bring you meteor showers to Willytown Fest! But Goat versus Fish knows something even more interesting than a meteor shower, and it's about to happen now at the stage just before you now. Before we introduction the final verses of Willytown Fest, together we sing in celebration of Goat versus Fish. You already know the verses. Join Goat versus Fish. Goat versus fish, 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 goat versus fish. You know you're about to hear some glow. You know you're about to hear some glow. Celebration, celebration, celebration! And now some information by GoatVsFish. For those who do not know, let us introduction you to the bro. Make some noise for Chris Bro! Make some noise for Chris Bro. That poor Ralph Mouth the Fish tried to step over a fence and oh, we've already warned you about the fence. Now it's a bonefish. Celebration for Chris Bro! It's still glow! It's still glow! And now GoatVsFish. Before we introduction, the final amazing verses you're all waiting for. With your permission, one final celebration for Glow Stick Willie. One final celebration. Make some noise for Glow Stick Willie. Oh, they have severed their willies. Oh, they have severed their willies. But the Willie lives on at Willytown. Celebration! Celebration! Celebration for the greatest band since creation! Glow Stick!
Yeah.
Celebration.
Yeah.
Oh, it is active. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
After this verses of Willytown Fest, we shall announce who does triumph in the Willytown raffle for the mighty rug of Willytown Fest from Festy Life. But first, welcome to GoatVsFish. Welcome to all of you watching GoatVsFish Televerses. While you have been watching GoatVsFish Televerses, GoatVsFish has been at it again. GoatVsFish has been assembling GoatVsFish has been assembling a guitar rack. Behold, a guitar rack. GoatVsFish has been assembling a guitar rack. It will make for some great storage for GoatVsFish. This is what GoatVsFish Televerses allows us to do. It allows us to entertain you with ancient verses of GoatVsFish while GoatVsFish does something. It's a guitar rack. What am I gonna do with a guitar rack? GoatVsFish has so many guitars now. We needed a rack.
We needed Iraq. It's not the war for Iraq. It's the war for goat and fish. Looks like a fence? Psh. You wouldn't know a fence if it bit you in the verses, Keepa or Keepo. With a name like that? Keepa or Keepo, goat or fish. That's the verses. There's not much left. There's not much left in Goat vs. Fish Televerses for this Volume 2 of Goat vs. Fish TV, but we will remind you, viewers on Twitch, we'll remind you that Goat vs. Fish is in compliance with Twitch terms of service that clearly state that if one is live streaming simultaneously on Twitch and another platform such as YouTube, that you may not direct your viewers to watch the stream on YouTube or link to that stream. You're not allowed to do it. This is very clear in the Twitch terms of service. It is very clear that Goat vs. Fish cannot tell you to go and to watch Goat vs. Fish on YouTube while we're simultaneously streaming on Twitch. Goat vs. Fish is attempting to reach 3,000 watch hours on YouTube for monetization, and we're getting closer. We're getting closer every verses. This has been a special announcement of Goat vs. Fish. And now, let us continue. Willytown Fest, Goat vs. Fish, MC of Willytown Fest. As a matter of verses, Goat vs. Fish used this video of Goat vs. Fish being the MC of Willytown Fest in order to promotion ourselves to the Deep Fat Fried podcast, and now Goat vs. Fish is the MC of the Deep Fat Fried meetup in New Jersey, or we did that versus. Let's see if they invitation us back again. We hope they do. So let us continue with Sump.
The verse celebration in the after-verses. Gather round Willytown for... Sump.
Was that it? Was that the intro? Was that it? Cool. That was the intro.
Well, Goat vs. Fish can play music like that. We sense a lot of potential. With this next band. But Goat vs. Fish asked the lead if they were goat or fish, and they sat on the fence. Oh, no! Where will Goat vs. Fish find the energy to make an introduction to a fence sitter at Willytown Fest? An object at fence tends to stay at fence. An object at goat tends to versus fish. An object at fish tends to versus goat. We need to take all that potential energy of the fence sitter and turn it into the energy of goat versus fish. Ah! They have come from a long ways away just to be here, just to entertain you, Willytown. And now it is the distinct responsibility of Goat vs. Fish to introduction this next musication. We lend our energy to you. Make some celebration for Kennedy!
it's just a versus. Oh, you want a bonus versus, do you, fence sitter, do you? You want a bonus versus, fence sitter, do you? Then explain how on your shirt it says fishbone on your shirt. Your shirt says fishbone. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. And Goat vs. Fish met Angelo Moore of Fishbone at the Whiskey A Go-Go in Los Angeles while doing a common versus with Green Jellÿ. Yes, did Goat vs. Fish. And Angelo Moore, even though it was Fishbone, Angelo Moore said goat. Wow. You never know what's going to happen on Goat vs. Fish. Final verses. Are you goat or fish? You who wear Fishbone.
Well, since Angelo is such an inspiration, I'm gonna have to go goat.
Celebration for goat! One bonus versus of goat from the Kinetics!
Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish is goat versus fish. And it is what it is. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish is a goat and a fish. And the goat and fish versus. Goat versus fish brings the verses to you. We promise the verses we tell you are true. What's goat versus fish? You haven't a clue. But it is something to do. It is something to do, and it comes from within you. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Goat are always versus the fish. The fence sitter pitiably sits on the fence. But it was written and it was wrote that goat versus fish and fish versus goat. If that doesn't make any sense, just please don't sit on the fence. Don't sit on the fence. You're a goat or a fish and you like to find verses, get on down to Willytown. If you're a goat goat or a fish, and you like to find verses, get on down to Willytown. See misled Buddha goat slapping that face, and Shrimpy Moa getting in your face, and Ralph Mouth just banging on the gong, and everybody's just getting along and along and along and along. Get on down to Willytown. Goat versus fish, the best MC around. Get on down to Willytown. With goat versus a fish, and the unity of goat fish. Goat versus a fish. Goat versus fish.
Gather round, gather round, gather round. Willytown Fest 9, gather round. I am GoatVsFish, and this is Dragon Balls. And we welcome you now. There is going to be a mighty celebration on the stage. Just wait until you see. Just wait until you see who is going to introduction Willytown Fest. Now, get out the fence. Choose Goat or Fish and gather round the stage. Come to the stage, come to the stage now. The versus is now. Goat and Fish, we introduction to you. All who are here for Glow Stick. Celebration for Glow Stick. Glow Stick! The master of the Stay Awake Squad and consumer of many great tornadoes. Welcome now to introduction Willytown Fest. Yes, and John!
What's up, Willytown?
Well, wasn't that a fine versus? Wasn't that a fine versus of Goat versus Fish? Goat versus Fish is just, oh no. Making some light consumption now. So we're here. We're here with Goat versus Fish. Now is your chance to make some conversation. Say hi to Goat versus Fish. We're going to be streaming for just a little short versus longer, but you, Adam S., welcome to Goat versus Fish. You are here. We see 10 watching on Twitch. And there are even more, and you know who you are. This has been an epic versus of Goat versus Fish. This might be the most hours of viewing that Goat versus Fish has gotten in a single day on the interwebiverse. Well, it's difficult to versus. It's a little difficult to versus. But we can say that in some respects, this is true. And if it is true in some respects, it is true in all respects. Because everything that Goat versus Fish says is a true versus. It's a true versus. In all respects. Yes, hello, I don't know what is fish, but I can goat all day. Keepo is laying down the verses on fish. They're saying, I'm goat, I can goat all day. Don't know about fish. How about fish? Any fish? Adam S. is fish indeed. TML rules is fish. TML rules is fish. We're going to try to find maybe just a fun bonus Goat versus Fish Televerse, something that didn't make it onto the original playlist, but that we can just play now just for you. Just for a fun bonus versus of extra watch time on Goat versus Fish. 30 consecutive streams, TML rules? Wow. What do you say to that, Keepa or Keepo? What do you say to that? How about a bonus versus of medieval art goat looks weird? That's a bonus versus. Can I come over and stare at you like this? We hope that didn't scare you. Too bad. Too bad. Here's a goat versus. Can I come over and stare at you like this?
Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fence.
Don't mind me, says Medieval is Matt, who posts this goat. Image source, Luttrell, Psalter British Library, MS42130-818R. When did that happen? How many millions of years ago was this goat? Some kind of creepy pasta goat. And the goat would stare at you like this. The goat would stare at you like this. The goat would stare at you like this. Where's the fish? Are you the fish? Are you the fish I'm here to versus? Are you goat or are you fish? The goat need only stare upon you for the one true question. But what do you say? What do you say? Some say, looks like my cat. This is very offensive to Goat versus Fish. You want to say that this looks like a cat when it's clearly a goat? And is a cat even a goat or a fish? Maybe your cat's a goat. How about that? Cat goat. Just wondering if you were going to eat that pickle, says Jericho the Weary. Well, we're weary of your accusations. That goat wants to consume your pickle. Or that you want to consume the pickle of goat. Are you speaking for this goat? Are you suggesting that this goat wants to eat the pickle of goat versus fish? Or do you want to eat the pickle of goat? Sounds like a fish. Sounds like a briny fish move. Enormo bear. Is a bear a goat or a fish? It bears repeating every verses. If you want to Keepa or Keepo responds with 40 subscriptions. Subscription, Keepa or Keepo. A Prime subscription to Goat versus Fish. Appreciation for the Prime subscription to Goat versus Fish. Make Fence Bezos pay for it. Make Bezos pay. Make Bezos pay Goat versus Fish. If you call yourself a bear, we're going to ask if a bear is a goat or a fish. If you want to call yourself a cat, we're going to ask if a cat is a goat or a fish. And they say, no. Can I come over and stare at you like this? And they say, no. The bear says no. The bear says no because the bear does not care for goat versus fish. The bear says no because the bear cares nothing for goat versus fish. If you were a fish, you would say, come over and stare at me, goat. Stare at the fish. If you were another goat, you could be two goats staring at one another. Have some headbutting. Have you heard of the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats? What do you say to the staring goat? Maybe you don't have to be lonely anymore. Maybe this goat can come over and stare at you. Goats are known to have rectangular eyes, but this goat does not seem to be in that guise. This is a round-eyed goat. But the horns are quite curved, and the horns look hot. The horns look hot. The goat looks like it has the body of the Sea of the Fish. Kind of a weird goat by the standards of current verses, but when you're Goat versus Fish, you've seen it all, the history of Goat versus Fish. These goats used to be much more common. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Stare at the goat. Stare at the goat. Do you TikTok? Yes. Not much. Perhaps we could do more. There's always more to be done for Goat versus Fish. Goat versus fish. True facts about goat versus fish? Oh, this is a...
Goat are of the land.
This is an ancient versus of goat versus fish. Oh, my
Lucid Nap
verses.
subscribes to GoatVsFish Forever. Celebration.
Fish are of the sea.
This was back when goat versus fish just had a room mic.
Goat versus fish. A goat is not a fish. A fish is not a goat. Goat versus fish. Goat have horns. Fish have fins. Goat versus fish. Goat have fur. Fish have scales. Goat versus fish. Shift your foot. Squeeze ship. Curl that foot. Shift your foot. Stay back ship. Slow that foot. Shift your foot. Foot on the ship. Ship on the foot. Shift your foot. Ease it up ship. And up foot. Goat are of the land.
Nice verses.
Lucid Nap subscribes to GoatVsFish Forever. Celebration.
Fish are of the sea.
But really, we should have made this like an hour long. We should have made this an hour long verses.
Goat versus fish. A goat is not a fish. A fish is not a goat. Goat versus fish. Goat have horns. Fish have fins. Goat versus fish. Goat have fur. Fish have scales. Goat versus fish. Shift your foot. Squeeze ship. Curl that foot. Shift your foot. Stay back ship. Slow that foot. Shift your foot. Foot on the ship. Ship on the foot. Shift your foot. Ease it up ship. And up foot. Goat are of the land.
Lucid Nap subscribes to GoatVsFish Forever. Celebration.
Fish are of the sea. Goat versus fish. A goat is not a fish. A fish is not a goat.
Well, this could go on for very long verses. We wish to say appreciation to all those joining Goat vs. Fish here for the Goat vs. Fish televerses. It's time for the rest of Goat vs. Fish. It's time for the rest of Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish morning motivationals, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. We're having a very special verses. This coming Goat vs. Fish morning motivational, we're going to have Chip Nicholson and Shrimpy Mo of Glowstick joining Goat vs. Fish in the studio with Sunshine. It's going to be a crazy versus. Appreciation to all the Goat and Fish viewing Goat vs. Fish.